Hello my dear students, welcome back to my channel. Today let us go for the quick revision notes of plant kingdom. The earlier system of angiospermic classification is based on the gross superficial morphological characters. What are the gross superficial morphological characters means? Habitat, color, number and shape of leaves. Next, artificial system of classification was given by Linnaeus, and the artificial system was based on vegetative character and structure of androecium. And what are the demerits of this artificial system? This artificial system gave equal weightage to vegetative and sexual characteristics. Next, vegetative characters are easily affected by the environment. So these are some of the demerits of artificial system. Next, natural system of classification. It was given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. Natural system of classification is based on natural affinities of organisms. Internal and external factors or features like ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology and phytochemistry. Next is phylogenetic system of classification, and it is based on evolutionary relationships. Phylogenetic system of classification assumes that organisms which are belonging to same taxa, they have a common ancestor. Next is numerical taxonomy, which is carried out by using computers which are based on observable characters. Here, number and codes are given to all the characters. The data is then processed. Each character is given equal importance here. And at the same time, hundreds of characters can be considered. So this is about numerical taxonomy. Next is cytotaxonomy. This is based on cytological information like chromosome number, structure and behavior. Next is chemotaxonomy. It uses chemical constituents of the plants. Next, we will move towards algae. Algae are chlorophyll bearing, simple, thalloid, autotrophic and largely aquatic. Algae, which is in association with fungi, are known as lichens. Algae, which is in association with animals, can be seen on sloth bear. There are some colonial algae, example is volvox. It may be filamentous, example is Eulothrix and Spirogyra. Marine algae, which forms massive plant bodies and they are known as kelps. Coming to the reproduction in algae, vegetative reproduction in algae takes place by fragmentation. Here, each fragment of algae develops into a structure called thallus, and asexual spores of algae are known as zoospores and they are motile. Example for flagellated similar sized gametes is Eulothrix, and non-flagellated non-motile similar sized gametes are seen in Spirogyra. Next, Isogamus. It is a fusion of similar sized gametes. Example is Spirogyra. Anisogamous means it is the fusion of dissimilar sized gametes and example is Eudorina. Next is Oogamous. That means the fusion of one large non-motile female gamete and small motile male gamete. And example is Volvox and Fucus. Next, half of the total carbon dioxide fixation by photosynthesis is carried out by algae. And algae increases the level of dissolved oxygen. The basis of food cycle of all aquatic animals are algae. It forms energy rich compound so that it forms the basis of food cycles of all aquatic animals. Among 70 species of marine algae are used as food. An example for algae which are used as food are Porphyra, Sargassum and Laminaria. There are some substances such as hydrocolloids. These are nothing else but water holding substances. Examples for such substances are algin, and it is obtained from red algae, carrageen, that is obtained from brown algae. And there is one more substance called agar, which is obtained from Gracilaria and Giladium. This agar is used in growing microorganisms, that is in the preparation of ice cream also, and also in the preparation of jellies. And unicellular algae, which is rich in proteins and which is used as a food supplement by space travelers, is chlorella. See, algae is broadly classified into three types: Chlorophysia, Phylogenetic and Rhodophisia. First one is Chlorophysia. It is commonly known as green algae. Why it is called green algae? Because they are grass green in color due to the pigment which is known as chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and this chlorophyll are present in a structure called chloroplast. And the shape of the chloroplast in case of Chlorophysia is discoid, plate, reticulate, cup-shaped, spiral or ribbon-shaped chloroplast. And the storage body is located in chloroplast, and the storage bodies are known as pyrenoids. Composition of the pyrenoids is the protein and starch. Some algae store food in the form of oil droplets. And coming to the cell wall of green algae, outer wall is made up of pectose and inner wall is made up of cellulose. Next is reproduction. The vegetative reproduction in green algae takes place by fragmentation and by the formation of spores. Here the zoospores are produced in a structure called zoosporangia. Sexual reproduction in green algae is isogamous, oogamous or else anisogamous. And coming to the examples of green algae, Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Eulothrix, Spirogyra and Chara. Next we will move towards the Phylogenetic, commonly known as brown algae. Most of the brown algae are found in marine habitat, and an example for simple branched filamentous brown algae is Ectocarpus. And example for massive plant body in Phylogenetic is kelps. And kelps grow up to the height of 100 meters. And the pigments which are present in brown algae are chlorophyll A and C, carotenoids, along with this xanthophyll. And the color of the brown algae varies from olive green to various shades of brown, and it depends upon the amount of xanthophyll and fucoxanthin. These two are the pigments which are present in brown algae, right? And the storage food in brown algae is laminarin or mannitol, and it is a complex carbohydrates. And coming to the reproduction, the vegetative cells of brown algae have a cellulosic cell wall with the gelatinous coating, and this is called algin. And the protoplast of brown algae contains plastids, centrally located vacuole and nucleus, and brown algae is attached to a substratum by a structure known as holdfast, and the stalk of this holdfast is called stipe, and they have a leaf-like photosynthetic organ, and that is known as frond. And vegetative reproduction in brown algae takes place by fragmentation. Asexual spores of brown algae, they are biflagellate, that means they are having two flagella, and they are zoospores. And the biflagellate zoospores are the pear-shaped structure, and they have two laterally attached unequal flagella. That is why biflagellate. Next, sexual reproduction in brown algae takes place by, again, same three methods: isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. And the union of gametes in brown algae takes place in water or within the oogonium. Next, gametes of brown algae are pyriform, that means pear-shaped. They bear two laterally attached flagella. Then the examples of brown algae include Ectocarpus dictyota, Laminaria, Sargassum and Fucus. Let's move towards the Rhodophisia, commonly known as red algae, and the predominant pigment which is present in Rhodophisia is the red pigment or phycoerythrin, and majority of the red algae are marine, and greater concentration of Rhodophisia are found in warm areas. And coming to the habitat of this Rhodophisia, they are found in well-lighted areas, close to the surface of water, or even in the great depths in oceans where little light penetrates. And red thalli in Rhodophisia are multicellular in nature. The storage food in red algae is Floridian starch. And Floridian starch is similar to amylopectin and glycogen in the structure. Coming to the reproduction in Rhodophisia, the vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, asexual reproduction by non-motile spores, sexually by non-motile gametes, and oogamous is accompanied by complex post-fertilization events. And the examples for Rhodophisia are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria and Giladium. So this is about plant kingdom algae. Hope this helped you. Thank you for listening.